Can you practice laughing at nothing? Because that's what's going to be coming your way tonight.
Yeah. Are you drained?
No. I know what it is? I have to have an angle whenever I start.
Okay.
Hey, I just got off the phone, or I got tickled, somebody tickled me.
So you went with I'm not funny. Give me the usual, is what you're saying?
Hey, look, if I didn't know that you respected me so greatly.
So greatly.
I just want to say before we start, are we starting now? Who cares?
I decide later when we started.
All right. Congratulations. Right before we're recording this on a Tuesday night, which you don't normally do.
Right.
Normally, it's Monday night.
Right.
As if anyone cares. It's not going to be the trivia question later. But he's my friend. Ken Jennings just won.
Why are you spoiling it for me, having taped it? All right, fine. Congratulations, Ken Jennings. Way to go.
Oh, God.
You want to tell me all the answers, too?
I've ruined your night. I didn't know you would tape that. It doesn't seem like something you tape. It was on before I got here.
Yeah.
But you didn't have time.
I just did a series taping. I did watch last week's.
No. Oh,
it's not like I was invested in anything.
Well, I am. He's a personal friend. You know how I love a name drop.
Hey, I knew him before you knew him.
And how did that happen again? I forget. I wiped that out.
Was it on the Cinematic Titanic show in Seattle?
I bet he liked it, too.
I'm sure he liked it.
Did he drop my name backstage?
Oh, no. He dropped it off in the alley.
Oh, that's not a good name. A name that gets... So, Mr. Josh Elvis... First of all, I've come up with a new bit. You ready?
Oh, good.
Mr. Weinstein, please come into my office, please.
Oh,
immediately.
This doesn't sound good. I'll be right back.
Get in here, please.
Yes, Mr. Kindler.
Mr. Weinstein.
Yes.
Earlier today, I swallowed some helium and something that made my voice sound weird. Mr. Weinstein, I need you right now, to save this bit. Do you have anything? Can you save this opening bit, please, Mr. Weinstein? I would be so much in your favor. I would be in your debt. Mr. Weinstein, if you could save this opening bit, perhaps by providing a punchline.
And that's the stuff Gervais didn't use.
What has he turned down? Anyway, it's been a very rough... First of all, I hope to God that nobody has to contact me when they really need me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize...
Are you referring to my wife?
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
No,
it wasn't a joke. I mean, she had to contact me when she was in trouble yesterday. That's why I thought you...
Oh, where were you?
I was at lunch.
Which, yeah, why don't you, chalk that up to a... No. I mean, like, when you tried to reach me, I had my ringer down. I didn't realize if you have your ringer down, you can't hear it. What's the point of having an alarm or a ring if it can be turned all the way down? I'm asking you.
Mine vibrates. That's why I just keep mine on vibrate all the time.
So does my phone.
How about Baho?
Get it? My penis, I was saying.
What? It vibrates?
Not really. So, you were out to lunch with who? Can I ask?
Sure. David Hayden Jones.
All right. Now I'm a huge fan of.
Co-star of The Fiddling Horse. And if you watch football, he's Aaron Rodgers' agent. And boy, he hates that State Farm agent guy. Ooh,
who does?
David Hayden Jones.
Why?
I mean, his character.
Oh, but he likes doing it, right?
Yeah.
He's excellent at it.
He's excellent, and he makes lots of money from
I don't
it.
think
So there's no downside, really, for him.
There's no downside because he's not typecast.
No.
You don't you remember the character, but you don't stick him with State Farm or whatever. Not State Farm. Is it Progressive?
It's State Farm.
I don't know. But
now both his fictional clients may be playing in the Super Bowl against each other, so that could be good for him.
Is there going to be he's going to get extra play now.
Yeah.
Because I told you that story about Nick Kroll, who played Andy Roddick's Mojo the year after he won the U.S. Open, and then Andy Roddick lost the first round.
Yeah.
And the commercial campaign did not take off.
His mojo died.
Exactly. He couldn't keep it going. Hey, hi, I'm Andy Roddick. I didn't win this year, but remember last year? Oh, that's good coffee. I got to tell you that. A lot of people won't compliment you on your coffee.
A lot of people won't.
Which is all you've ever wanted. So, where were you at lunch? Set the scene.
At our often breakfast place.
Gotcha. And then what happened?
Allison called. Actually, she apparently had called slightly earlier. Missed that call because my ringer wasn't on.
You also had your ringer off?
Yeah, I always have my ringer off.
You just check your phone more than me. Probably.
Yeah, and it vibrates. So
I see. Right.
Most of the time I'll feel it. Sometimes I won't.
If I did that, if I had one
in a loose jacket, not as much.
That's true. If it could vibrate, I'd never leave the house.
And I picked up the phone, and Allison was very sort of out of breath sounding. And hi, honey, I'm with the sheriff. And I'm like, okay, there's two strikes. Sheriff. There's two things that you go, huh? And they called the paramedics.
Who did?
So again, I still don't have any actual information. Yes. The sheriff now is the head of that's who runs the security on the campus she teaches at.
Oh,
so she was in the classroom and had started having a very serious allergic reaction to antibiotics she had taken for a sinus infection.
When did she start the antibiotics?
Yesterday, like the first dose.
And it's something. It was a name she's never heard of before.
No, it's one she'd actually taken before.
Oh,
and it just somehow.
And so, how did it manifest itself?
Shortness of breath, tongue swelling, like all your classic anaphylactic shock syndrome.
Oh, so she kind of knew exactly what was happening.
She knew what was happening.
And so, what did she do with the class?
Well, luckily it hadn't commenced yet. So.
Oh.
So she ended up in an ambulance going to the hospital, and I met her at the hospital. But she put me on the phone with the sheriff, who then was like, "Yeah, she thinks she's having an allergic reaction to."
All right, back up now. The sheriff, who was the head of the thing on that's before she got sent.
Yes.
To the hospital. Okay,
yes.
So she was very nervous.
She was. She had her shit together, but she wasn't able to speak that clearly.
Right.
But I could tell she wasn't incoherent or.
Were you? I'm sure you were. I know it was ridiculous. You were concerned, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was concerned, and I was just waiting to it didn't seem like going to school was going to be the play because she would have been gone by the time I got there.
Is that why you finished lunch leisurely and left a forwarding?
Some more coffee, please.
Yeah, honey, look.
No, but I did, I obviously, we were actually happened to be done at the time.
Right.
So David saw my facial expression when answering it, and then, we both got up and were walking out of the restaurant as I was talking to Allison.
Wow.
And then, you want to be like a man of action, but I was on my scooter. I had my scooter with me. So that takes so much hero wind out of your sails when you have to hop on your scooter to go home and get your car.
At least you weren't across the street. That would have taken you longer.
Yes. Huh?
You were on this side of the boulevard.
Yes.
So then you went straight to the hospital.
As soon as she called me and said, yes, they're headed to tell me what hospital she was headed to.
And by the time you got there, were you relieved or you were nervous the whole time?
I knew what was happening and she knew what was happening, and I knew that she was going to have some antihistamines in her. She already did by that point.
Now let me ask you this question. Why is this something that's happened before? Is it because she has a lot of allergies, or
she's allergic to shellfish as well?
Because I know Susan also has to have a thing. Does she carry her thing with her?
She didn't until today.
EpiPen, yeah.
Now we have them.
Actually, I got into the EpiPen business as a middleman just to get the price hiked up.
Yeah.
So she's not. Has this ever happened before? She's had the reaction before, right? To the shellfish.
Yes.
That's how she knew she was allergic to shellfish originally?
Yes. And she wasn't for most of her life.
That has got to be weird.
Yeah.
So she's taking the new I feel like if I talk softly, she can have a bad reaction.
Yeah. And she just took them tonight. We watched her very closely. Seems like.
Who's we? You and who else? Who's here? What's going on?
I don't like your tone.
I don't like it either. Imagine me. I have to live with it.
I know.
You get to toss it out at one point.
I just like how the only time you're ever interested in my life is if there's something medical going on.
Oh, Josh, stop pulling at me. I feel like Taffy. That's actually Ed Krasnick. Everyone's pulling at me. I feel like Taffy. You like Ed Krasnick, don't you? He's one of my old friends who I love him so much. He's so funny.
What am I going to say then?
Because you can't not like him. I just refuse.
I love Ed Krasnick.
He's fucking great. Why do you keep curse? So, by the time you got to the hospital, things were calmed down.
She was better, but she had once I got there, they gave her when they were giving her some IV
Benadryl
and steroid.
But now this Benadryl doesn't make you feel happy, though, right?
No, it makes you very sleepy.
Yeah, because I know that I sometimes have taken Benadryl when I'm having a weird allergic thing or I want to go to sleep.
All right. Or I crush it over cookies.
Sounds like something Rickles did when he retired. I sit home, I pop out some Benadryl packs on some cookies. And the organ starts to play. Well, I think that. So, did she spend the night? What day? Yeah, she spent the night?
No.
Oh, that's right. Because you had told me you were back by 8:45. I think even I was like, oh, and you're still going to push it off from night? I was so mad. I said, well, let's do it now. He said, can you please? It's been a rough day. It's been a rough life. I said to you, and I came over and punched you up, punched you down, took control. Why do I have these fantasies?
I don't know.
I'm a weak person.
I don't know. I really don't know.
And what can she do? What can she do in the future to avoid? Because you don't know that it's going to happen. It's hard to. It's just a weird thing. You don't know.
Well, I mean, she won't take that antibiotic ever again.
Right. Okay, that would be my solution.
I'm allergic to penicillin myself, so.
I don't think I'm allergic. I really don't think I'm allergic.
And it was something that I wasn't as a kid, but I found out during my medical days that turns out I am. And if I take penicillin, an entire layer of my skin will peel off as if I was sunburned.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Did you save any of it?
I did.
You know what's amazing about that, though, is that I thought like they never ever actually give penicillin now because so many people are allergic to it. But that has to be a misconception.
Well, I was in a first world hospital. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you don't know what to tell me about it. Well, my doctor, Dr. Marks, I'll never forget him, because that was his solution, seemed to be to everything. A scratch, penicillin. This one, penicillin.
Yeah.
I think he
That's why we have superbugs now.
I do believe that.
It is.
I think he started it.
Yeah. He missed the marks, if you're asking me.
It was like a everything. We had family jokes, you know.
I stubbed my toe. Call Dr. Marks. He'll give you some antibiotics. Stuff like that. Family jokes.
Well, we used to. Well, Dr. Hurwitz, God rest his soul, he was on the other hand, doctor.
He was the guy we went to for the painkillers.
No, he was on the other hand. He always had another hand.
Yeah.
You know, we could let this go. You could let it go.
Right.
And then you could do a root canal on the other hand, and it'd be there for 7 hours.
Right.
And I would have thought we would have had better doctors and dentists.
Yeah.
That's what we were hoping. Well, my brother and sister and I were hoping for that.
You would have.
It happened.
It's because of the Christmas thing. Sent you down the wrong path. The Jews can find the doctors.
I just put that behind me. I put that. I took that in
People
action.
who embrace their Judaism can find the good doctors.
I packed that away with my other stockings, like with a little tear came out of my eye.
Yeah.
Of anger towards you and rage.
Okay.
For ruining all of my Hollywood.
Hollywood?
I took my tree out tonight, though.
Did you?
And put it out by the curb like
January
a Jew.
14th.
Huh?
January 14th.
I know, it is a long time. But in my own defense, I was ready to do it last Wednesday.
Yeah.
And that's one day too late. No, last Thursday.
Yeah,
Thursday.
Because Wednesday is hauling day.
Ask me if I know what the pickup is on how they pick up when the holiday falls in between. Ask me how it works.
I don't think I want to.
Okay, so let's say Tuesday is January 1st. That's a holiday.
Yeah.
And your normal pickup day is Thursday. If January 1st is on a Tuesday, then your thing would be on Friday.
So a day later is what you're saying.
Yeah, but if your thing is on Friday, then I guess it's on Monday. I don't remember. It's so stupid. First of all, I went to L.A. Do you know that you can call like a L.A. sanitation and you call 24 hours a day?
Yeah.
And someone answers the phone after they put you on hold for like 14 seconds.
Yeah.
Who started that?
You're a little too excited about that.
But that must have been.
Like,
was that Via Ragosa? Was that a Via Ragosa joint?
Yes, I'm sure it was.
I love that.
Yeah?
I feel better about everything.
Was that 311 you called?
Yeah, no. I called another number like 311. It was 800-555.
Special insider garbage number.
I can't. No, it was a number that I was calling to find out when the pickup. See, I know what the pickup day is for your area. The same as mine. It's tomorrow morning. So what I do is I tell the wife on so we have a little. I say, you get the swing. No batter, swing.
So my wife's okay now. Is the
That is
upshot
great.
Of that story? Yeah.
She had a couple of New Year's Eve. Too much this.
Yeah, don't harp on my wife. Get off her back.
I'm sorry. I thought that would be a good angle on the show.
No, it's not. That's not how I would work. That's how you work with the, my wife, the old battle axe, the old ball and chain. I know your whole Lockhorns shtick that you do, but that's not how we
don't
roll.
have. Okay, you're right. That's if I want to keep that problem in my house, not your house.
Tell it to Uncle Tanous.
I can't stand that show just based on when you say that.
Yeah.
That show was never funny, right? Make room for Dad.
I never watched it much, but my dad loved the reference Uncle Tanous. So he kept it alive.
Was your dad Lebanese?
No.
Imagine if I didn't know anything about your family by now. So where'd you come? Were you Jewish or not?
No. I'm Catholic from Florida.
I need to. I owe Johnny Torito a call. I got to speak to him because he had family things. But then I was thinking about him last night.
Yeah.
All I could think of was Johnny Torito celebrating LSU's win.
Yeah.
And that was a great. I thought it was a great game. You didn't watch it because you were in the hospital. You were in the emergency room.
I was home for the second half. I saw some of it. I saw it when LSU started to put some space in there.
Yes, and when I think of a guy whose life is just like my life, like Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
You know.
I thought you were going to say Johnny Torito.
I mean, that was what was disappointing for me coming out of college. I was a 3-letter state. I had All-American. I was a number 1 in my thing.
Yeah.
And I was a letter. Did I say there were 3 letters?
All right. And then the injury down south.
You mean my impotency? That didn't stop. Oh, sorry. My impotency never stopped me from. Oh, that's not what you're referring to.
I meant in the SEC, but you know.
I mean, I tweeted something the other day that people asked me, "Are you writing for Dennis Miller now?" Oh, that's right. As I says, is Dr. Dolittle a movie about the Eisenhower years? Now, you don't even get that joke, right?
No.
Okay. The Eisenhower years were known as the do-nothing years.
Uh-huh.
So first of all, you'd have to remember that.
Okay.
Now I'm saying it's Doolittle. So now it's a takeoff on a pun.
Right.
And nobody liked it at all. I've been realizing now, and this is really, it's not sticking in my craw, but I come up with tweets. If I think a tweet is great, it gets nothing.
Yeah.
If I think this is the cleverest, I can't even believe there are words to be used for anything else than this tweet.
Right.
Nothing.
Well, so it's like on stage.
Oh, you got me good that time. Oh, you got... You know what I'm doing? Hey, he made my eyes at you. Josh, you got me good that time. What is that song?
I'm not even sure.
You're making... he's making eyes at me. I'm sorry, it's a musical. What do you want me to do?
What musical is that?
You know... he's making eyes at me.
Okay.
It's one of the ones I would think like a Jolson maybe was in it because it has ma. Mammy.
You think?
Mammy. I'm good. I'm okay now.
Are you?
Well, it's very exciting now because on the one hand, we could die any day.
Right.
And on the other hand, there's a lot of good sports on. I watched every football game, every one of them.
Yeah.
I know you didn't.
No, I did actually.
I think it's an amazing year for football.
Well, it was an amazing day of football.
Oh, have they been? Some of the matches weren't that. I mean, some of the matches. Shut up. Some of the games weren't that close. I guess then
You watched them all. You just said.
What? I watched them all. Like they were also. I was so proud of myself that I watched every wild card game.
Right.
I watched every game.
Okay, so tell me about them.
Okay, so on the first wild card weekend. This is why I'm not a commentator or a color man. The first wild card weekend. The most I remember is that the Patriots lost.
Yeah.
And that was amazing to me. Uh-huh. And then I remember Minnesota won.
No, Minnesota lost.
No, the first wild card weekend they won.
Yes.
And I forgot who they beat.
I did too.
All right, so I don't know anything. All I know is that I'm rooting for Green Bay against San Francisco.
Oh, they beat New Orleans. That's who they beat.
Oh, that's right. And I love Drew Brees.
You're rooting for San Francisco over Green Bay, did you say?
No, I'm rooting for Green Bay.
Okay.
You too, right?
Sure.
Now, people would think you hate Green Bay.
You would, but I don't have hate. That's sports related,
right.
really.
You don't have that at all.
No.
Does your brother?
No. Oh, God. He's a philosophy PhD.
You know, the fact that your brother, I'm getting so much into philosophy now that I'm so much into it. I pulled your brother's book out last night. I haven't read a book in 3 fucking years. I'm so sick of myself. How many books do you read? You read some.
I read some.
I'm reading that book.
Most of it, the amount I read is generally related to the amount I shit, I have to say. But
well, certainly you're not going to be a Rhodes Scholar. I don't know why I hit that hard.
You could have gone the other way. You could have gone with, you must be a Rhodes Scholar.
Are you saying that my stuff is foolproof? You know, either way is good.
Right. Wow, you just got very melancholy. What happened?
Well, you start thinking I haven't seen any of them. I mean, I feel like I was starting to catch up with things. I'm halfway through.
You got your screeners now, though, right?
Yeah, I haven't watched anything yet. What have you watched of the screeners?
I watched Jojo Rabbit the other night.
I heard that's great.
Yeah, you know, I think I liked it less than most people, but that's kind of true of everything, isn't it?
Well, I was prepared to not like it when it first came out. I had, it's like, do we need more Hitler stuff? But obviously, the tone is not. It's not pro-Hitler.
It's not pro-Hitler. It's but the Hitler thing, I think, is sort of a smokescreen to disguise a fairly mild movie.
That's the thing I'm thinking about. Just as you said that, is he a little too wacky? Is he a little too wacky at times?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. There's one joke in it that took the movie down a whole letter grade.
It did?
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
Yeah, it was, you go into a Nazi's office, and I think it's even in the trailer. I meant the dogs. I didn't want actual German shepherds, and it's literally like...
Don't tell me that's not in there. I'm not seeing it.
He left it in. And it's so...
bad.
It's so much worse than the other jokes in the movie.
Wow. Some people's, that was their
Young
favorite.
writers out there, let me tell you.
Don't do it.
No joke is better than a bad joke.
That is really true. It takes you out of the whole film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you know, I liked it. I would say I liked it while I was watching it more than I did the next day. Started seeing, you know, my mind started deconstructing all the manipulations.
Right.
You know, and some of them I was, you know, but I was pretty game for it when I was watching it. I wasn't watching it skeptically. I was like, this could be fun. And then, you know.
You got a little wearing on you.
But it's good.
It's a little cutesy in a way.
It's Wes Anderson meets Mel Brooks, kind of, with some Life is Beautiful thrown in.
Did you ever get into that Gunter Grass?
No.
Bang the drum, not bang the drum, the tin drum.
Oh, I saw the Tin Drum years and years ago.
What was that like?
It's fucking horrible. It's awful.
Okay. Well, see, he's a guy who's...
I mean, I don't think it's not a horrible movie, but it's awful to watch.
Well, the thing is that they later found, I think he died recently. He was like a heroic German writer, but then they found out he was like in the young Nazis or something. It was some kind of, nobody would have thought that he, because of his politics, could have been...
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Here's what I'm telling you. I am just, thank God that I was not Jewish in Nazi Germany, because I would have been one of the people who turned on my people. You know what I'm saying? I would have, as my old joke used to say, Mom, can I pass as Christian?
Give it a shot.
And then it's a movie, but it's also a cookie. And then at the end of the cookie, they have a movie, and then free popcorn. I need $2 million, 15% up front, and a back end.
We'll see how it all comes back on. Please go Shark Tank. I had Susan doing. They don't. I had her doing. They look like yoga pads. I can't. How are our friends doing over there? I say it so weirdly, but is it calmed down at all?
It's still a fucking shitstorm.
I really think this climate change, you say it's not, you can't pin it on any one event. But what if we die in an inferno? Can we say then the whole world catches fire? Can someone then say, or they go, nope, you can't tie any one specific event?
Will you feel that vindicated at that point anyway?
I wouldn't mind being the last. I wouldn't mind being the last person. No, I wouldn't like that. There's nothing. Sometimes I fantasize about.
If you were the last person on Earth.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons.
Right. Pros.
Pro.
More spots at the Comedy Store.
No judgment.
That's true.
Nobody's mad at you.
Oh, that would be good. Oh, it would be. And even if I walk, you know what I'm saying? if I even walked down the street and saw nothing but rotting corpses,
Right.
the fact that I knew that nobody was currently mad at me,
Nobody's mad at you.
what do I have to complain about?
Exactly.
You know, throw my troubles away. I just hope to God that I'm never the person who has to be in charge when the plane goes down or anything. I don't want to be in charge because I'll kill us all.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I won the safety captain election.
What was that? In grade school?
A joke I just made about.
But shouldn't there
our
be
show.
humor in the joke? Why would
I
you
don't
not?
know. I wouldn't know. Shouldn't there be cognition on the audience's part?
Don't start, you two. I don't even know that job. That sounds like a Midwest
I made
Minnesota
it
job.
up for a joke. I just made a joke.
Well, jokes have to be based on real things.
Yeah, there was a real thing that you're fucking pathetic in an emergency.
I don't think that's the way you talk to people who you want to ring in with your. Do you want to ring me in, or do you want to push me away?
Little column B.
Column A.
I haven't gotten to column A yet.
Now, I watched the debate tonight, and I was bored with the debate, but I guess it was okay. I don't know what to say anymore. It's like, just someone has to beat him, and so I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Is there anybody you go, this is...
Well, like tonight, there was just that whole, the visual is...
The white visual?
Well, there's the white visual, and there's also it looks like Pete Buttigieg took the rest of them on an outing from the home.
I tweeted just the Sunshine Boys because I bring out my best material when I tweet the debates. Yeah, they're very old people. They're old. The only one who doesn't seem as old, the only one who's old that I kind of.
Here's what I will tell you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
First of all, I've never heard a series of debates where every debate I have more experience on this stage with helping victims of a shoe falling on someone's head than anybody else. Put together, I've got more experience. It's just like that shouldn't be your main thing.
Well, no, but you're running for the job of president.
I know. I kind of feel like if there's going to be one old person I would vote for, it might be Biden.
I mean, the only thing the big thing you can knock Buttigieg for is his experience, you know?
Yeah. What do you think? I kind of like Buttigieg.
I mean...
But I don't know enough about it. I mean...
You know what? There isn't anyone who's not going to disappoint you on some level on that stage.
True.
And there isn't anyone on that stage, thankfully, that isn't going to inspire you on some level. You know?
So you're not in the camp of worrying if Bernie gets it or Elizabeth Warren gets it?
No, I'm not. I mean, I think no matter what...
We're going to take him out.
I don't believe. But I believe that there's no one in this field that's a surefire winner. You know,
what if Hillary comes back in 11th hour?
I don't think she's the one that we want to come back in at the 11th hour.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't think that socialized medicine is
the answer,
is the ticket.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a realistic
goal.
Stop finishing my words.
What? You're mad about it. Imagine how Susan is.
I can't.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe she stays mad. I mean, luckily she cut me off from sex.
The horses are at the starting gate.
And you're off. His comedy is off.
And it's Beetlebaum.
Shut up, Bellingberry. Go to hell, Bellingberry. Okay, go back to where you were because I like this conversation.
I can't. I'm gone now.
No. I cut you off.
Right.
Right, and that ruined the whole mood. What were we talking about?
Oh, we were talking about politics.
Yeah. Okay, so Amy Klobuchar has been one of these I can do it people. I don't know,
but what can she do other than that?
Yeah.
You know. I mean, I think Amy Klobuchar is right in that. There's something you can assign to every candidate.
Right.
Where you can go, people don't want Joe Biden. They'll never elect a socialist. They'll never elect a Jew. They'll never elect a woman. They'll never elect a gay guy,
Right.
But ultimately...
But if you put them all together...
But 5 years ago, they would have never elected Trump, so you don't...
Also, what I like is that they're saying in real language... They're laying it out there, all the horrible mistakes that this country has made. Because I think I even forget that George W. Bush was almost as bad as Trump. He started a war that never had to be started,
right.
And he let Cheney, who is arguably even more evil than Trump, and so. But I got, I had to remember after Trump how horrible it was with George W. Bush and Colin Powell going. The thing that we've lost is any kind of credibility as a country. No one believes us, and why would they?
Yeah.
You pull out of a new... all this. I'm preaching to the converted, but I like it because the money's good.
Yeah, but I think right now it's, the world thinks it's Trump more than America. I think with another term, there's not going to be
lose patience.
There's not going to be any... Well, there's just not going to be any daylight between the two,
I think that the grip of these old racist Republicans has to be loosened, and maybe I cannot believe that they're going to win, except in the most deepest South places. But also the system's weird because each state gets two representative, which is in a way still crazy. Because if the Senate was just equally as powerful as the House of Representatives, that'd be one thing. But the Senate can pretty much hang up anything.
Yeah.
It's not representative of the people, really, when two guys from Wyoming are added in with two people from California.
Yeah, but the fucking House of Representatives is a collection of giant whack balls. And the Senate is filled with slightly more sane douchebags.
Maybe. Yeah. Except some of these Republican senators, I've never seen them before. All of a sudden they come out and they're like the guy I can't stand is John Thune. He never says a word. He just stands behind Mitch McConnell.
All right.
At every one of those horror. Imagine that's your life. Is just a goon, a GOP goon. Took over for Tom Daschle.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Daschle. Let me tell you about Tom. Yeah, mama, momo. All right, let me get off my soapbox and cut this out. It's very. It's good that there's no clock there now.
Yeah.
Because that used to bring me down when I would look over there. The show. I wanted to say thank you again to James Adomian for doing. Did that come out today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that. Yes. And also, he requested that I plug his podcast, which is called the Underculture podcast. So please listen to that, everybody. And
he does less Kindler on it, but
yes, but. I'm on one episode as Jeffrey. I played Jeffrey Epstein.
Ah, perfect.
So, which I didn't change my voice for. So that was, people enjoyed that. It was an hour 37. So that to me seems like you were happy. Didn't take you a long time to edit the last episode, or a super long time. It felt more smoother than normal.
No, it still took multiple hours to edit, but it ended up shorter than usual.
Oh, I think we're going to start to get a bump now. I really feel that way.
Yeah.
The Adomian thing, plus whatever idea you have next.
We have been on a slight uptick the last 4 weeks or so.
I feel that about it. I heard about, I listened to This American Life, and they were repeating some episodes, and there was one called Dopey, about this podcast called Dopey, where there was two people in recovery, but one was in recovery less time, and they did 140 shows. It's really intense. Do you know anything about it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
but I'll listen to that episode probably.
Just about drug abuse, and because I know I have a lot of stories from when I did acid and stuff, but they're funny to me because I didn't end up dead in life.
Right.
LSD stories are generally to me funnier because there's not a lot of funny heroin stories.
No, but LSD stories are not really much better than dream stories.
That can be true, but I think I have a couple of classics. They're short and sweet. Like when I was out in the Big Bear and with my ex-girlfriend Patty, and we were so high, and we thought we were hearing Native American chants. And then when it got closer, it was a truck radio playing Taking Care of Business.
Uh-huh.
That's better than I saw a diamond thing.
It is.
You won't give it up for things sometimes. It's like I'm working my ass off over here on my own, alienating people. What does that mean, old school?
Old Souls. That's
Souls.
Actually for you.
It is?
It is. It's a graphic novel by that my friend Brian McDonald, I think you're a friend too,
Oh yeah,
wrote.
Brian McDonald from the old days.
From the old days.
I saw him a couple years ago.
Yeah, in Seattle.
Yes.
And he said, he wrote me and said, hey, my publisher is going to send you a copy of my new book, graphic novel Old Souls, by Brian McDonald and Les McLean.
Cool.
And I said, well, Brian, I don't need a copy because I already bought your book, but send me a copy and I'll give it to Andy Kindler on the air and we'll talk about your book. And sure enough, it arrived today.
That's so great.
So here's your copy.
That
of
is so
Old
cool.
Souls by Brian McDonald, and it's a very cool book. I haven't gotten all the way in. I started it, thought it was cool, put it down, and then haven't come back. But it is cool.
I assume I mean, it wouldn't surprise me they didn't do the art, but the art is by Les McLean.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw him. He's been doing a lot of things. It was so great to see him. I hadn't seen him in so many years.
He wrote a really good book on writing called Invisible Ink a few years ago too. That I recommend if you're into screenwriting.
I have that book. I have to.
I think I blurbed that book.
I'm so bad, but I'm going to read that one. Invisible Ink.
So there, I'm good to my word. I've given you a copy of Old Souls by Brian McDonald.
And how did you meet him? Is it the same way I met him, through writing, or no? He was a stand-up, I think.
He was a stand-up, but I know him through the Gruber gang, through those guys, Gruber, Higgins.
And how is Gruber these days?
I think I actually he and I sort of became friends when he came to a couple cinematic Titanic shows when we were up there, and we stayed in touch after those.
I wish I could. I don't know what I wish I could, but I like going up there a lot.
Same show that Ken Jennings was at.
Oh my God. He won $1 million, ladies and gentlemen.
That's very cool. I wanted him to win.
Yeah.
Not just for the $1 million, but I wanted him to take down that other prick.
Who's the other prick?
Mr. Professional Gambler. Mr.
Does he bug you, that guy?
No, I was
just trying to create some energy. Yeah. What was interesting about him is that I probably should know this, but I knew people like you can make money with professional poker because it's a skill game.
Yeah.
But I would think that making money from sports betting, even though I'm sure it involves all kinds of algorithms and things, would be hard or be more unpredictable to make a living as a sports gambler. It's not something you usually associate with winning.
Right. Well, you put professional blank gambler, it's not associated with winning.
Well, that's true, except for poker, but even poker they can't predict.
Right.
But in poker you find a lot of people who are sharks, there's a lot of people who can make money for years just taking advantage of new players.
Right.
Because new players are transparent.
But it's not an easy living.
No. No, I saw one guy, and I knew he was a professional player, but he had been there, he was there for 8 hours in Vegas, and he made $90 or $100 or whatever.
Yeah, it's just not.
We can do that with a joke.
I remember my dad when I was a kid, and if someone would ask him for money on the street, my mom, he would usually give them some, and my mom would be all like, you don't know what he's going to do,
You don't know what he's going to do with it, kind of thing? How'd that make you feel?
And it would be, my dad would just be like, how much, even if it's a scam, how much do you how well do you think he's doing with this?
Right. That's the thing. I never could understand it. Well, people were upset about the scam side to it.
Right.
Because can't be fun.
My mom was just obsessed with fairness across the board and everything. So, if someone was lying to my dad,
right,
she would be fair,
But would she be concerned that the person needed money?
She would be. I mean, she was a charitable and lovely woman, but like I said, it was just that he's lying to you thing, I
don't understand what's happening now with why there's money granted for homeless people and they're not building the buildings. I just don't really understand the subject, but.
Well, part of it is that no one will let them build those buildings in their neighborhood.
Oh, that's crazy.
In our very neighborhood, we have that controversy going on.
Oh, in our neighborhood?
Yes.
Where they want to build it?
Right next to your house.
I have a change of heart. Now I don't want people around. I have a bleeding heart, for I am a liberal.
That vacant lot next to your house?
But it's ridiculous. It's how, I really feel like we have to get past this thing that if we really couldn't afford to if we really couldn't afford to feed the world, or we really couldn't afford to have everybody, but we could afford it.
Right.
If we, You know, like they say now that the richest 400 people pay less a rate in tax than the lowest people. I mean, they have really rigged the tax system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how are you feeling about the new year? Before the new year, you were feeling a little, not down, but ready for, did you, did you come up with a $1 million idea? Did you discover your gold?
It's a rocket car with music and a switchblade, and I need $2 million for a prototype, but then I'll give you 2%.
That sounds very expensive, young man. Very expensive.
That's the cost of doing business, Andy Kindler.
Well, let me think about it. We'll find out after these
We'll
messages.
be back on Preschool Shark Tank.
I think Preschool Shark Tank is getting a big reaction amongst the 4 listeners.
It seems to have a resonance.
Did I get a little spike there? Would buy a cup of coffee. I was like, really? I was starting to.
You
boom.
have to, if you're going to buy a cup of coffee, plug our site. Don't just plug their Twitter page, because it does us no good if they just go to their Twitter account.
Well, I'm an idiot.
That's why I put the link.
What's the matter with you and me? They liked it that I advertised the whole site. They enjoyed it.
Meanwhile, I personally recruited Lorraine Newman to our podcast.
That's so great. That is very, very good. I'd be so scared to tell her that it's
I didn't like doing it, but then she rewarded me.
Well,
She said, I need a good comedy podcast. I said, Andy and Kindler and I are a delight.
I know. That's so.
And she said, great, I love both you guys. Thanks.
Well, I spent a few hours thinking about, should I tell her start with don't start at the beginning. It's nothing you can say.
No, you back away.
There's nothing you can say. Because if you don't tell you nothing, go, hey, look.
I just wrote back, that went way better than I thought it would.
I'm listening to the new Jeffrey Epstein.
Podcast?
Jeffrey Epstein, Truth and Lies.
Yeah, I didn't kill myself, it's called.
He was not as good a guy as you painted him out.
Really?
Now that I think of it, I don't think it was a good idea for Prince Andrew to go and be photographed with him when he was a convict.
Yeah.
I don't know. Prince Andrew is. Woo! Is that the first time Prince Andrew? You don't know. I think he's had other trouble in the past, Prince Andrew.
He was a playboy back in the day.
Well, obviously.
Right.
Is it a playboy when they're that young? Would you call him a playboy or a babysitter? I hope I have a heart attack or I hope I have a stroke. One of the two. The only way to save this podcast right now is if I had a stroke. And then we cut to, you come to the...
Mr. Kindler, are you okay?
Babysitter.
That's the only thing you can say for the rest of your life.
Babysitters.
Then you come by the bed. Josh, I can't see you, Josh.
Babysitter.
That means you're stepping on my air hose.
Ooh, wow, wow.
How about that sound after a joke?
Wow, wow, wow.
1970s British siren.
Wow, wow.
Instead of a ba-dump-bump. What about these slimy Houston Astros? Is that their name?
No. I knew there was something wrong with them Astros.
I have to tell you something. That really did knock me for a loop.
Yeah.
One of the most famous shot heard around the world was questioned.
Yeah.
Because they thought that they were stealing signs.
They were. Yeah, they all admitted it.
They all
later.
admitted.
Yeah.
But so it's like you would think by now that a whole team would be in. It's just disgusting to me. It's like so despicable.
It really is.
So like it's going to change everything. I think it's going to make people not trust. I don't know. How could that happen even? Did you read about it?
Yeah.
Like, was it one of these things like, it just started to work or?
It worked.
Oh, God. So, but every player had to know. Maybe some didn't, maybe.
Well, I think the way the signal worked is that if it was a breaking ball coming, they'd hit the can in the hall.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so knowing it's not a fastball is good information.
It's terrible. I mean, it's a terrible thing to have done.
So you can say you don't know how it really affected the games, but, there's some pitches that were certainly hit or not, or not swung at because of that knowledge.
And the Dodgers it's a 7-game series, right?
I can't
when they beat
remember.
the Dodgers.
Yeah.
It's just awful. I don't know. For some reason, you get to the thing where, like, I know boxing was fixed.
And then Alex Cora went on the next year to the Red Sox, who won the World Series. He just got fired today, too.
Okay. But why was he involved in it?
He was a bench coach for the Astros when it was when they were doing it.
Oh,
during
he
the World
was?
Series.
Oh,
and then
okay.
The following year, he went to the Red Sox.
So
And they used it too, presumably.
this great. I mean, it's like you're stealing. It's like there's nothing. You know, I guess I could see with the old baseball players that would load up the ball with, you know, like in the old days.
Well, stealing signs is part of the game, but that's when you have a runner on second, you know?
Yeah. Stealing signs is part of the game, just like they cover their mouth when they're giving things on football. But if you have an elaborate system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when you use electronics to do it, you're cheating now.
But someone on their team went, well, stealing signs is part of the game. We're just taking it to the next level.
Except it was explicitly against the rules.
And do you believe the general manager didn't? I believe the general manager might not know anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible.
And a lot of people are saying, why wouldn't that be a lifetime ban? And because like people are saying Pete Rose is out of the Hall of Fame. He was betting on his team to win.
Yeah, but gambling has always been
the bugaboo
prime sin of
yeah. Should we make illegal first off? Maybe betting on our very own games the guys play. The point shaving ones, those were the ones back in basketball.
And we don't know that he only bet on the teams to win, by the way.
You don't trust Pete Rose? He's a straight shooter. I do think he should be in the Hall of Fame, although I think it's a ridiculous thing that I am upset about. Not upset about, but I didn't even think about. Because what does that mean even? Although I saw Jimmy Johnson get into the Hall of Fame.
I saw that too.
And I was started to cry.
Sure.
Do you know that I know him and all those guys because I used to do a character on the FX sports show. It was called The Geek, and it was like a Max Headroom. It was really not a great. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't write any of it. It was just like, today I believe the Houston Astros will win. And it was like just a crazy voice thing.
Yeah.
I used to see those guys all the time: Jimmy Johnson, Howie Long, Jim. Who's the guy? James Brown, and so it was fun to see. So it was fun to see him get the. I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel like a part of it, but for a couple of years I was down there. So all the Fox Sports pre-shows and things.
Yeah.
And this FX Sports show was a short-lived thing.
Not the best damn sports show.
No, this was like the guy who everyone hates. I hate him. Who got knocked over by Jim Everett.
Jim Rome.
Yeah. And Kevin Frazier. And no one knew who FX was, and they were kept switching around what they were.
Yeah.
Then they were all men's station once, and
I had a development deal for a while with FX, and then this was years and years ago, and then I came up with an idea that I really liked, and then they didn't want to pay me, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go do this idea.
Did they give you any money at all?
I don't know if I did. I think I had a first look deal with them. So I got some money up front, but
we did a show called Dick and Paula with a lot of the Dr. Katz people. I love that show.
Yeah.
And we made about 30 episodes. They just dumped it when they decided to become a man's channel.
Yeah.
So there's so many channels now, like Freeform and I guess Freeform.
That's just it. That's it. There's 3, actually.
No, but they do say there's more shows now. I think 575 new shows are on there. Scripted shows.
Yeah.
It really is quite amazing.
And neither of us have a job, Andy.
Well, true, but do you really measure things by whether you're working at all, or people know who you are, or that you have any relevance?
No, just my health.
Well, maybe we should start. Each of us should try and get into become a YouTuber.
Yes.
Would you call yourself an influencer at all?
No, I'm an under the influencer.
Folks, if you want some more of this, I would say it's a Neo Groucho material.
Sure. I think that's kind.
No, I think he was better than my Groucho material. Andy, so how long are you in town for? When you say town, what do you mean? This town, that town?
You call this a town?
So how long have you been doing stand-up? Well, I sat down for the first 7 years, and then I took a nap.
I had to start the clock over again.
I can never do an interview like that ever again, and it's probably good.
I'm so if I had any influence on you, if that's it, I'm good by that.
I was put off by the fact that I went to England, and the way that they wanted me to promote my show was to write a column for something.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't do it, but it's like...
yeah, well, you know. If you want to play for readers...
I did the question and answer was the one thing I did.
Yeah.
How long have you been? How long? How long are you? I resemble that remark. You know, the whole thing.
Sure. What's your comedy like? What isn't it like?
Hey, can you help a new comic out? Which way did they come in?
Think Hawkeye Pierce, but just the medical stuff.
I'll never forget that I am young enough that I thought like Hawkeye was like the new Groucho. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that's what he was doing.
That's what he was doing. And because he used to walk around going like that.
Yeah.
And I love that show, which I don't think I can watch anymore, but.
You could still watch it.
You know what's interesting is that
you feel a warm bath of nostalgia.
The movie,
Sucks.
which initially.
I don't like the movie.
Movie sucks.
Movie sucks.
Because it's all with that Robert Altman. It's too cool for school.
Well, it's not even that to
like
me.
Robert Altman too,
My whole problem with it is that the second half of the movie is about a fucking football game.
I hate when they do that. I hate that. That's like Stripes.
It is a lot like Stripes. Yeah.
I forgot they did that.
Yeah.
It must have been a big hit, that movie, or maybe it was a big cult hit.
MASH?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know exactly what numbers it had, but it was a hit in its time.
I'm going to ask you a serious question
Enough to
now.
become a TV series.
Right. I've never seen Easy Rider all the way through. Is that a good movie?
It's a pretty good movie. There's a lot of great scenes, and then there's a lot of very ponderous psychedelia.
I've seen the ponderous psychedelia where they're like all four running in and out of houses, and
yeah, it's a little. I never have been had any patience for that. In any of those movies of the era.
Right. Well, 5 Easy Pieces is a classic.
But there's great stuff in Easy Rider for sure.
It's hard to believe he died, Peter Fonda.
Yeah, not that hard to believe, really.
I don't know what I'm saying. It is weird for me because
we were on the same Mark Maron with him.
But it hit me the other day because I still am in the illusion that I'm not old. So like I was sitting around going, "Hey, did you know Pete Carroll is the oldest coach in the NFL?" And we're like, "How old is he?" And I was like, "He's like the older," and he's like 68. So that kicked me in the teeth. Now he's a young 68.
Sure,
but it's still like. It's still, I'm not as scared of death like I used to be because I've found other things to be frightened of. I'm not scared of death. I think I've conquered death or the fear of death.
Yeah.
Not really, but I'm better.
Let's just say objects in the mirror are closer than they appear.
Did you just do an objects in the mirror joke?
I did, but it was about death.
So it was Dada.
It was death.
Oh my God, you have become, it's like working with Edwin Newman. Edwin Newman. Can you replace my Edwin Newman reference? Like who's a current person who's a persnickety about grammar?
No one anymore.
William Buckley?
No one cares anymore.
Nobody cares anymore. George will, I could say.
Shrug emoji.
The need to put emojis on, I think, is a sickness.
Yeah, it's not. I can only, I'll use them. I'll use a thumbs up instead of.
Yeah, because that's actually saves you time.
Right.
It's not like I'm getting rid of my Christmas tree. Here's a picture of a Christmas tree. Swinter, hello, ho ho.
What I'm going to use where's the about fucking time emoji?
That sounds like Dennis Miller on Dennis Miller. The other thing that kind of bothers me, I know I should use it, is when people like your texts. Do you do that too?
Occasionally. I don't, not with regularity, but if I don't have an answer and I want someone to know that I saw it.
Yes.
Then I'll use it.
Well, my friend Bill Kaufman was very upset that he goes, I'm upset when people write ha 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 ha. I said, that means they're really laughing.
Yeah. That's a step up from LOL.
And yeah, to me, LOL means they're not laughing.
All right.
Unless they go, and then people start with LFMAO, thinking, then that gets old. How many times could you be laughing your ass off?
Pretty much. It's really once, technically.
If you want to be honest about it.
Wow. I felt that lull feeling.
No, but you know what? The only difference between that lull and other lulls was I tried to disguise my sense of loss and helplessness. I said, I'm not pushing it.
It was an eye contact silence, though. It was like we both locked and went, nope, nothing. Nope, nothing.
Well, what else is in the news?
Let's take a break.
I think we should.
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
I don't either, but in honor of my wife's recovery from anaphylactic shock.
Yes.
let's play an Allison MacLeod.
I say, yay.
been trying to hold this candle in the night. If you like living in the darkness, that's your right. But I know we stand a chance. This is my hope. We can make it. Here is my heart. You can take it if we wanted to try. With no excuses, no alibis. I've been waiting all my life for just one moment like this, when the fog seems to lift. Say you want to try. Say you want to try. Lately I've been working so hard to get through to you, and there's nothing I wouldn't do if we hold on together to this dream. We might find out what heaven means. Yes, I know this time it's real. This is our fight. We can win it. Here is our life. Let's begin it. If we wanted to try, with no excuses, no alibis. I've been waiting all my life for just one moment like this, when the fog seems to lift. Say you want to try. Say you want to try. Say you want to Say you want to
That was Try by Allison MacLeod.
And we wish her the best, and we wish her
Available at AllisonMacLeod.bandcamp.com.
and we wish her wellness.
She's well. She's fine.
I luckily have never had a reaction to anything except in general to life.
Yeah.
I hope I don't have to be in some life-threatening thing, because I won't be good. I wasn't too bad with my appendix. You know, when you really like when your appendix, when I had my appendix out and I was in the way, and it was like painful. There is a thing where you start to not care sometimes.
Well, your body protects you to some extent too.
Man,
Like I've found you can't remember pain.
it's interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
you can remember that something hurt really badly, but you can't imagine
No.
pain, which is a gift.
Yeah, and also the thing is, if you couldn't sense pain or hot and cold, it'd be worse, but you don't think of it that way. You know what I mean? Like the other day, I almost took something out of the oven
Yeah.
that was hot. If you don't know it, if you can't feel heat, you'll burn your hands
Right.
off.
And there are those people.
Yeah. And people have no sense of
That
smell.
would suck.
Well, I've dodged that bullet. And we're back.
We're still. All right.
All right. I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm much more up-tempo because of my coffee.
That's good.
It is good.
Shall we approach the questions?
You know what? Mr. Weinstein, please bring in this week's mail, please.
Answer me these questions 3.
Is that Monty Python?
Yes, it is.
All right. Everyone does a Monty Python. It's like, I get it. You can do it.
All right. We're doing this shit.
We're doing it.
This is happening.
We're going.
Parush
Yes.
is in India again.
Whoa.
Josh, got any Peter Sellers impressions?
I am very sad to say that I don't think I've seen, except for being there, I never saw the Pink Panther movies. Are they great?
There's plenty of funny there in the first few of them. Can't tell.
Is the first one the best?
Huh?
Is the first Pink Panther the best?
I think the first one is A Shot in the Dark.
Oh, I saw that.
And then the second one is the Pink Panther.
Oh.
And then the third was the Pink Panther Rides Again.
I've only seen the Steve Martin ones.
You've never seen The Party.
Yes, I have.
You've seen Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah, but those aren't Pink Panther movies.
No, but you said Peter Sellers.
Oh, no, I was Being There. I'm sorry. Being There, Dr. Strangelove. What was the other one you said?
The Party.
The Party I saw very recently, a couple of years ago, yeah. But I feel like
That's the real Indian tie-in, I think, for Parush.
Ah. He was supposed to be a very troubled man in many ways. Like a depressed guy and a hypochondriacal guy.
Yeah, he was a difficult dude. I read a biography of him, and I didn't retain a ton of it, but what I walked away with was mostly like, although he was
funny
as hell, he was also moody and mercurial and selfish, and
yeah. It's like the life story of me.
Exactly.
Without
Except
the
for the
success.
funny. Oh, sorry. Sous Vide says, I know Christmas is over, but I love It's a Wonderful Life. Love that Zuzu scene, right, Andy? I always appreciate the discussions of classic cinema.
You said would you quit playing that stupid violin, you idiot? You can't play the violin. You're a stupid girl. I'm going to crack that violin. Okay, get me out of here. Someone get me out of here.
Okay.
I'm really going to go down now. Where I'm going to start having what if Jimmy Stewart...
It wasn't a violin, and that wasn't Zuzu.
Would you play that stupid piano?
Still not Zuzu.
If I go up this stupid banister keeps coming off.
Get out of here, buddy. You're not drinking here. There's no drinking here. You're in Potterstown. What do you think you are? Who played the angel?
I don't know. I can't name that actor.
This house is a goosel.
Huh? What was
the guy
that?
who played.
It's a house is a goosel.
You thought I was a...
Ah-hoo-hoo. Ah-ooh-ooh.
Stephen Elton Yates says...
Stephen Elton Yates, he is the salt of the earth. I will stop interrupting you.
Salty Elton Yates is what we like to call him around here. Network execs tell me the next big thing is
Preschool Dateline.
Or is it
Preschool Hardball.
I actually hosted a show for kids. I made a pilot, and we did a Kitty McLaughlin group. And it's really funny. I made it over...
Count your mind.
Channel 9 used to do...
Mort Kondoriki. Wrong. The answer is Bosco.
I used to love the way Pat Buchanan would go, "You're watching Crossfire." No, that was Novak who died. B.J. Novak passed away.
what?
Oh.
But the bear is still alive, right?
The bear. How do you stop looking at the trending if it's anyone older thinking they're dead? Every time they're dead.
Yeah.
They're over 50, they're dead.
Right. You don't.
You don't.
That's what life is.
That's what life
like.
is. That's
Yeah.
what Twitter is.
If this were the 50s, you'd worry if the phone rang.
Well, that's true. But the thing is, like, you can only be trending for two reasons. One, you said something hilarious or something amazing happened to you, or you called the Pope a goon or something.
Congressional Deadwalk. What's my hardball?
Stephen Elton Yates also brings to the party. They're using CGI to bring back James Mason to play opposite a toddler in Preschool Boys from Brazil. Do you have a pre-production clip of Mason telling the toddler he's shutting down the program? We're shutting down the program, Mengele.
You will not shut down my program. I will not have my program shut down by some insolent Jew, some meddling Jew. It will not happen. Bobby!
Mengele, you're a madman.
I am not a madman. I'm just making baby networks. The world, and you calling me a madman? That's mean, I'm telling.
If I left and there was nobody here, would you and you didn't have a question, so we could do it on your own?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm here most of the week at this table.
Please go, Jonathan.
Not Tweet Bahara. This is a serious one. No smart-ass cracks or bad puns from me this week. Andy's story of the dipshit psychotic camp counselor was heartbreaking. Andy, I'm really sorry that happened to you. Fuck that asshole.
Oh, thank you. That one, I think even Josh felt that was bad, right?
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
You didn't make fun of that story like
not so much.
You didn't buy me like a black eye, me with a black eye stocking, and
see you.
No, but that guy.
Did you take the stocking thing as a shot at you? Really?
No, I just have no material today.
I thought it was really.
Oh no, I
natured,
loved it.
Psychological gift giving.
I thought it was great. I think it was the best gift I've had in years.
Right.
But the camp counselor, when I told it again on the show, it seemed more terror. It was the terror came back.
Yeah.
Of like because every night sometimes he'd come back drunk and he would give us like a pizza. Here's your fucking pizza.
Yeah, no, it sounded like the microcosm version of having the alcoholic father,
Here in your life, you'll have a father who's not alcoholic, but when you get to camp,
right.
You'll have it in camp.
And it's some fucking 19-year-old piece of shit.
What a piece of shit he was. Really. And I never could get that story out of my head. Because the way he told it, he's like, yeah. The guy comes up on stage. He goes, hey, can I see your drums? And I said, don't fucking touch them or I'll beat you. So the guy goes wandering over and I beat him to a pulp. Have a nice night, kids.
Good night. My counselor just told ghost stories.
You never went to sleepaway camp?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Was it Jew camp?
Yes.
What was the longest you went for?
5 weeks.
Well, you see, everything that you had doesn't compare to 4 times a week at Hebrew school.
All right.
This sounds terrible to me. I'm still angry about it.
I am too.
There's no reason. It wasn't like you were born in Jerusalem.
No.
What were you trying to prove? V'yiskadav v'yiskadesh v'rei shemo. V'emeru amen.
You just said Mourner's Cottage. That's fantastic.
And they shall be like, I used to hate this one. It was called congregational reading. And they shall be like frontlets between thine eyes, because we get up in the morning and we walk a long road. And then we'd have to say something else that said nothing. Uh-huh. They shall be like frontlets between thine eyes. I had to say that every year. I didn't know what it meant.
It's a reference to the Shema, which is, have you ever seen tefillin?
No. What's tefillin?
Tefillin are the things with the leather straps.
Oh, okay. Yes, I have. Yeah.
And one of them goes between your eyes, and one of them goes on your forearm.
Can we sing the Shema without getting sued? Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Amen.
And his name, and his name, and his name is one. They could have done something to jazz up Judaism, but they just never did.
Well, they did the jazz singer.
Yeah. What's that song? Once they built a mountain, and then they said...
Once I built a railroad, made it run, made it race against time. Wah, 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 wah. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime?
This week on Ken Burns, we learn about Ken Burns' first 12 years.
Once I built a railroad.
I remember him. He was,
I don't know why the kid would still be young.
I was his toddler friend.
I was the one who said, Don't let that picture just sit still. Push in! Push in!
He made a documentary about my foot. He interviewed people. He interviewed my foot.
It was just a static picture of my foot, and I said, push in! The West is history. Swallow! Push in, swallow!
I'm the one who told him. He said, I want to have the interviews right down the barrel.
Get Garrison Kiowa!
Well, oh yeah, because Gruber used to do a great impression of the Garrison Killer reading the Civil War one,
yeah.
and the troops like the tasty cakes. It's in 1837. Edgar Allan Poe was born today. Edgar Allan Poe, who took out his own eye at the age of 12 and squished it in his sister's ear. Today is the 30th anniversary of Anniversary Day.
What was that thing called? Poets?
Yeah, it was like the poet. What's the word for a thing that's the almanac? The Writer's Almanac.
Writer's Almanac, thank you.
Today? I never checked out his stuff.
Today, the Writer's Almanac people have cut all ties with me.
Yes. Maybe I was a little hands-on. He must be a fun guy.
Yes. Mark Thompson says, have either of you ever considered yourself big Star Wars fans or fans of any pop culture property? Well, certainly I've been fans of things. I was a huge fucking Star Wars fan because I was 7 when it came out.
Right.
Or
You're
6.
like in the Brian Posehn.
Yeah.
Slightly younger, I think, than Brian Posehn.
I think I'm slightly
a lot younger, maybe. We're old.
God, I hope so.
No, so that's the same way I was never. There was never a franchise I got into. I actually liked the Star Trek. I was actually into Star Trek a little bit as a kid. I loved it, and then the Scotty came and talked at my school in 1977.
Oh yeah,
and that was like before all that stuff happened. So I kind of liked but not like a fanatic.
What did he speak about? Do you recall?
I don't remember. This it was like question and answer,
right?
And then all I remember is someone said something like, if they do more of them, because they hadn't done any of them more at that time. He goes,
right.
Well, if they do, they're going to need and he went to the boys. If they do, they're going to need a captain, Cookin, or whatever his line was. I'm giving her all
They're
shit.
gonna need a chief engineer, they are.
Yeah, it was right, and the crowd went nuts.
Right.
It was state school. That was a big get for us.
Oh, this was college.
Yeah, it was college. That's 1977.
Right.
Before there were people.
That was the year Star Wars came out.
Oh, so then my story's not wrong, because Star Trek came out earlier, the series.
Right.
But before the first Star Trek movie, I think.
Yeah, by like 3 years.
And that was like, well, I have to say, if they ask me, I'll give it to all they got, the Captain. By the way, CNN's doing great documentaries about
last week.
Last week.
Cargo 21 says, Andy, The Graduate ends with Zuzu and Mrs. Robinson flying away in an X-Wing, and then C-3PO tells Catherine Ross and Dustin Hoffman that their odds of a successful marriage are 725 to 1. What were some other movie endings that had Zuzu in them?
Why don't I know what Zuzu is?
Huh?
Why don't I understand what Zuzu is?
That's what everyone, yeah, because we've talked about this like several consecutive weeks, and each week you forget that we
Give me
did.
a clue, at least, of what Zuzu means.
Zuzu?
Like Joe Zuzu.
No. See, you say that a lot of weeks. You say that most
Well,
weeks.
explain it to me once.
Zuzu is the daughter in It's a Wonderful Life who's sick, who gives him the petals.
Her name can't be Zuzu.
Her name is fucking
Her
Zuzu.
name is Susan.
Why are we having this conversation?
Because she's an American
What kind
kid.
of brain damage do you have?
What? This is fantastic. Now this week, Yule Hauser goes to the brain damage unit. This is fantastic.
Now let me get this straight. You can't remember the name of a girl. It's not even a common name. It's Zuzu. And you have to ask, you mean like Joe Zuzu? Every single time it comes up. That's not fantastic. That's fucking crazy.
Zuzu, would you stop playing the damn piano?
No!
You can't.
You're wrong. It's
Was
not
that her name? It's
no.
not- oh, it's the other one.
That's a different girl.
The angel says that every time a thing goes, a bookie gets the skull.
You're right, Zuzu. He goes down.
That's right.
That's right.
Any of this ring a bell?
That's right. That's right. He looks up in the sky. Doesn't he look at the sky and winks?
Attaboy, Clarence.
Attaboy, Clarence. Oh, I really am high from that bit. That is very good.
Patented Phil says, I grew up in the Valley, and my local comfort food became Tommy's Chili Burgers. When I visit, I always go back. I know Andy grew up in Queens and Josh in Minneapolis, so my question to you is this. What would it sound like if James Mason was the lead singer of Smash Mouth?
That's so good. Okay, let's hear that.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Hey now, you're an all-star. Go fuck yourself. Yay, yay.
Maybe you want to listen to Radiohead. Is it good?
Huh?
Do you like Radiohead?
Sometimes.
Fuck them. I don't know that much about it.
What does that have to do with Smash Mouth?
Oh, I all of a sudden thought it was Radiohead. I just did this. I did an Orrin Hatch. I took my glasses off.
Oh, boy.
Have you seen, they have footage of Orrin Hatch blowing his nose in the last, I think all he did was blow his nose the last term.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good, sir.
Dan Wade says, hey guys, I love Test Show 140. I always wondered whether those long-winded recipes on blogs were real until I heard Andy take 5 minutes to describe an egg scramble.
Did anybody respond positive? Like, thank you, Andy. I really think.
Why would they?
Because I'm saying you cook the things discreetly so that when you combine them at the end, they're not like a big mess. I invented it.
No, you didn't.
I did. How do you know? I don't like this character. Can we start again at 9?
Yeah, I don't know. We've never started at 9 once.
Ooh, whoa, Nelly.
M, don't remake Jaws Leadsome.
M, don't remake Jaws Lightsome.
Yes, that's right. Yes, thank you very much, Ed.
Are they remaking Jaws?
Well, there's talk of it.
Oh, please don't.
Oh, yes. M says, in the UK, Shark Tank is known as Dragon's Den. What if there was a wacky UK-US preschool crossover? Huh? Thanks for being the light of my Tuesday morning, fellas. Love you both.
Thank you. We love you, M. But I'd love to hear your
Welcome
British...
to Dragon's Den. I'm Billy McCracken.
You're listening to BBC 12.
And you're listening, and you're watching BBC 12. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a beautiful show we have today. We have Andy Kindler all the way here from the States.
Thank you. It's a wonderful thing to be a judge. I'm not sure why.
Why are you faking an accent?
I can't do one.
We brought you in from the States.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Oh, you're a Jew. Today, we have 3 very willing and able contestants here to tempt you for your funds.
For your euros. No.
First off, we have young Angus McGuican with his product. Angus, take it away.
No, nice to meet you. Oh, I'm not doing an accent. Nice to meet you, Angus. What do you got?
Hi, Mr. Kindler. I've got quite a little product for you here today.
Are you from Oliver or something?
Well, no, I'm from my home street.
Would you like some more?
I'd like some more money.
So tell me what your invention is.
Well, it's a teapot.
You sound like you're 55 years old. And you say you're a young kid.
Why is he making fun of me?
I didn't mean to make it.
All right, we'll move on to our next child while young Angus gets things together. Try not to be so hard on our contestants.
I'm sorry. I really forgot that there's even your kids are reserved.
Next off. I'm told we have to go to commercial. We'll be right back on Please Go Dragon's Den.
Ye matey? Oh, that's a pirate. Oh, that was good. You really have done a lot of good work tonight.
Thanks, sir. Greg Kelly says, it's Tuesday afternoon. Please spiral on the pretentious days of future past and the cold-hearted orb that rules the night.
What is that in reference to?
That's a Moody Blues album, I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
Oh.
But I don't know it. I never listened to Moody Blues.
The only one I remember is Timothy Leary's dead. No, he's outside looking in.
Good. That's more than I got.
Well, you know what I always say?
I just know that the Knights in the White Satin never reached the end. And by that, I mean the song.
Well, my friend pointed out years ago that they're slightly flat in the song. And when you hear it, you go, Knights in White Satin, never reaching the end. I may be wrong about that. You'd have to say they were good, though, right? The Moody Blues?
I don't have to say that.
That's
That's not what I want on my permanent record, no.
All right. So instead you like Edgar Winter Frankenstein. I get it.
I like it better than Moody Blues. Actually. I do. Yes. You give me a menu with Knights in White Satin and Frankenstein, I'm picking Frankenstein every time.
But I always thought it was weird that Frankenstein was your favorite karaoke song.
Yo ho ho yo ho ho
yo yo yo
ho ho
yo yo yo
ho ho yo ho ho yo
Yamamoto Yamamoto.
Can we hear more from Mike Lindell going full mind pillow? Oh, I think he's accusing me of hating the Jews again. I don't like that at all.
Now, Mike, shouldn't you be talking about your pillow and not the Jews?
I do talk about my pillow.
But what is this? Stay away from the Jews.
It is a Gentile-friendly patented pillow.
Gentle.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Gentile on your head.
But there's no Jews I notice that work for my pillow and in your factory showroom.
Well, no, they don't because they're dirty.
You can tell it. What does he wear around his neck? It's like a Italian...
It's called a cross.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's a symbol of our Lord.
Shouldn't he have a Coke spoon?
Let's just say if Jesus had a MyPillow, he wouldn't have wanted to get up after 3 days.
And now I've got the MyPillow shroud. Shroud of sleeping. The Shroud of Sleeping.
The Shroud of Lindell. Made right here in my home state of Bethlehem.
Now tell me about this, the cotton. Is it sheiks? Where do you get the cotton from? From Egypt or something?
Well, we don't like to talk about that. But yes, we source it through Egypt via, we launder it through some Norwegian countries.
But you don't like Jews. That's the thing I think is weird because you're cutting off.
I think that's putting too fine a point on it. I don't trust Jews.
Yeah, but you're going to cut out your Jewish clientele for your product. They sleep
upside down, hanging from things. Yeah, that's what I hear.
So I'm telling you, Mike, you need to drop this politics because you're going to start to affect your sales. There's no question.
I don't think that's true. I think I can get by without Jews just fine. That's why I live in Minnesota.
I heard you.
We don't have a big Jew problem here. They keep leaving and going into show business.
Many people say that you were actually a nicer person when you were addicted to crack.
A lot of people do say that, in fact, yeah. They aren't wrong.
How could he not go out of business? One time he's going to go out of business, isn't he?
I hope so.
Oh, good.
Vicious Horrible Wumpus says, hey guys, just want to say that Dan Wade's roast on Kindler is an all-timer. I think that was the crack about your egg recipe. Will homework come back? It's a good through line. I think we should bring homework back.
Is homework seeing a movie or something?
Yeah, we've done it.
I know, but was there any other homework? Go get 3 friends.
Well, when we first started, we were multimedia.
Do you got anything you want to...
Well, we got all the screeners.
Oh. What should we watch? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, maybe? Or
let's watch the Korean one.
Oh, Parasite.
Parasite. Okay. Let's watch Parasite.
I'm writing it down so I can blow it again. I do insist on a dubbed version. I don't like dubbed versions. I like when the American voice is going, I'm done. I finished about 15 minutes ago. But I'm just saying, you can keep going.
David Gilgo says, I hear that Andy Kindler is really upset that Ricky Gervais won't be hosting whatever that award show is next year. True?
It's true. I can't believe it. Did you know that every year he did it, he would mention about how many years he's done it, and I don't know if you ever saw him host it, but he would talk about how it's edgy, but he also doesn't care,
Right.
which is the main thing. I'm very happy that Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are doing it again. They're at least hosts.
Right.
Steve Martin, these people are don't mind being there. They have skin in the game. That's Ricky Gervais's thing. He doesn't want to have anything to do with anything he's doing.
Right.
And it shows.
Stand By Your Man says a young woman I worked with till today over a 6-week period told us her mom was in a car accident, then a coma, then died, and she didn't know what she was going to do because her dad lived down in Florida. Turns out that was all bullshit. Her mom is alive. There was no accident, no coma, and her folks are happily married. HR found out because she poorly forged a death certificate when they needed something on file for the bereavement pay. What's your craziest coworker getting fired story?
Well, I never worked in a coworker situation, but I knew that I've had stories about people who I can't really reveal all the things, but like someone who said they were going to die and they didn't die. I've had that happen in my life.
Yeah.
Not to me, but to a member of my family where they thought someone was going to die.
Yeah.
And it turns out I was joking about that. I don't really have cancer. So, what do you got?
I don't know. That doesn't really sound like a coworker story to me. That's just
okay. Well,
that was just hearsay.
Well, where's your coworker? Oh, you could do a coworker because you worked in an office.
I did, but I don't recall anybody getting fired in any weird way.
Well, okay.
I've had people getting fired. Here's a weird thing: they got fired because they weren't funny.
That's not something in a normal job you'd have to worry about.
Dan Marsh asks, when you were both starting comedy, what things did you predict correctly, and what things about the career took you the most by surprise?
Well, everything took me by surprise because I didn't know I was going to be a comedian. So, by the time I got into comedy, I'd already gone through so many things that I guess what surprised me was that I did well at it, whereas I'd never done well with other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what... I mean, everything I assumed would happen didn't really, It's like, I kind of got to everything that I wanted to do eventually.
Right.
But the way in which it happened and the order in which things happened was not at all.
Yeah, and when you came to LA, you had no idea about your act or measuring your act against... when you were coming, were you worried about your act, or were you worried that you were too young, or were you worried... or because that sounds like you were...
I wasn't. I should have been more worried about my act. But, my stated goal was to come to LA to get a writing job.
Oh, okay.
My unstated goal was to be a star.
Right.
But it was easy, when I first got here, it's easier to do stand-up than writing when you first get here,
Yeah, to get a, right. Yeah, to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized, okay, I'm not, despite the fact that I'm a working comic, that my act doesn't apply.
Were you excited when you got your first writing things? Was it like a thrill? I would think it would be.
I don't know.
You never had that kind of, I'm here in the big city. Where's the lemonade?
No, I was young and I just assumed everything would happen. Because that's kind of how it had. I started doing stand-up, and then the path just kind of unfolded in front of me on what to do next. And so, there was a couple of years when I moved out here where very little happened, and it was disconcerting. And
were you like broke?
Yeah, I had gotten broke by the end of it. And in fact, I had taken out a line of credit to consolidate my credit cards, and as soon as I did that, I got a job.
And that hurt your credit too, right?
It didn't really, no.
Yeah. Was it consolidating your credit, or also you'll take, if they say you'll take this amount, if they do that for you, that's when it's supposed to affect your...
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It was more like put it into one thing.
I wasn't in bankruptcy or anything.
Yeah.
I just had a bunch of bad cards that I paid off and paid one loan instead of three,
Well, I met this comic who I started out with, and he was telling me that, what a rough business we picked. But he goes, because he had heard that I was at one point $75,000 in debt on credit cards, which was true.
Yeah.
I always kind of figured I would be able to get going. But I'd be lying if I said that the unpredictability of it hasn't affected me.
Right.
Like, I think there's a trade-off. Like, I think that the trade-off is if you're in one company for 50 years, that's safer, but then they could just end your job. So it feel like it used to be. I felt like when I got out of college, I probably could have been a lawyer or something. It seemed like there could be some kind of a road for me, but I would have been miserable. Yeah,
I didn't. My path was always toward show business. There was probably a minute where I thought I was going to be a lawyer or something because my dad was, but I always thought I'd be an actor or something in my head. But
yours is like a storybook thing because you were so young and you were with such a seminal show.
Yeah, but I mean that was, and I think and that's why I had that attitude when I moved out here.
Yeah, you think
because I had made, I had gone from open stage to MC to middle to headline, so I kept moving up. There was a ladder that it was easy to move up.
Right. But you weren't cocky when you came down.
Yeah,
right?
I was, I think. Well, by the time I moved out here, I wasn't that cocky.
Yeah.
But I was cocky when I started Mystery Science Theater, which is part of the reason I think that they weren't that fond of having me around.
I just can't imagine you that cocky though. Like you were young and like
Well, imagine my self-assuredness and know-it-alledness as a 17-year-old.
17, yeah, okay.
Okay,
I can see how.
And a new comic.
Yeah, I could see maybe.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I get it. No, and my real friends told me.
What did they say to you?
They said that I got super arrogant during that time.
Wow.
So it was a big.
Like your friends from Minnesota or your
Yeah.
friend? Oh.
The friends who had been friends before Mystery Science. And then, I mean, everyone at Mystery Science Theater was incredibly arrogant about this thing we were doing. They called
because it was such a breakthrough
thing.
thing.
They called it Best Brains. That was the name of the company,
Who called it that? Joel
and Jim.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
So it was, the whole thing was we're smarter than everybody. It was kind of the we're smarter than show business because we're doing it here, and we're smarter than the locals because we're doing it in show business.
Yeah.
It was yucky at that. Everyone mellowed out over time.
Right, but it got to everyone's head a little bit.
It did, yeah. It was really like that movie Overnight in a lot of ways.
I don't know that movie.
It's about the guys who did Boondock Saints, the guy who came to town and Harvey Weinstein bought him a bar and.
I think I do know that one.
It's so great. It's so great.
It's called Overnight?
Yeah.
And what's the guy's name who's the lead in it?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. It's still available somewhere?
Probably, yeah.
And is that guy who was bragging about everything? Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, yeah.
These people are idiots,
Yes, that was fantastically compelling, that guy.
But it was exactly that kind of attitude that was happening back at MST in the day, where it's just like, fuck, we're going to get our band to do the music. These fucking idiots, they don't know what they're doing,
Yeah. But probably it was that cockiness that also got you the thing going.
Probably. There's always an ugly facet to showbiz ambition.
Yes.
Because it's not feeding.
It's not real.
It's not, and it's not, it's a hunger that's not feeding a healthy need.
No. And you know why so many people who are incredibly successful when they're young, they have a hard time, really hard time.
Yeah.
And most people who don't do well.
Yeah. Well,
it's a hard thing to survive.
Fortunately, all my early success didn't come with any fame or fortune.
It came with a lot of notoriety.
Sort of. Now I don't, now I've become that guy where it's like, I'm sure I've talked about this, but like when I moved out here in the early 90s, there were writers who were taking MASH off their resume because it made them look old. And now I've got my best credits are 30 and 20 years old, and I'm in my 40s still. So
Yeah.
But I play like I'm 60 something on paper.
Right. But every time you say that, you have to remember that I'm in my 60s, you son of a bitch.
I understand.
But you don't need to.
But the ageism in TV writing is way more real than it is.
Okay, so let me ask you this. My elevator pitch, you ready? It's an AAR, it's a local AARP center, and I'm the wacky towel guy.
I can see you as a towel guy. I don't know if it's a showbiz project, but David Reeder says, how are you going to pay for it? I think he was watching the debate, probably. Bilal Zafar says it's 3:21 a.m. in London and I'm still up. Do you also feel especially creative when you should be asleep? Do you have a usual time of day for writing, etc.?
I'm bad at discipline, and I'm trying to get some discipline, so I'm all over the map. But usually late at night, I can come up with ideas.
As a young man, that was a really fertile time for me. Now I feel like the smartest way if I'm in a project, the smartest thing for me to do is wake up and start working.
Yeah.
But that I don't always get to that, But I do. I just have this general. My theory has remained the same for many years, which is you got 3 hours of writing in you in a day.
Oh, I never heard you say that.
Yeah, it can take 8 hours for me to get that 3 hours out. It can take 10 hours, but I believe that there's like 3 productive hours. Sometimes they come out in a row. Sometimes no.
So sometimes you don't push it. Sometimes you go, you take a lot of breaks, and if you're in some kind of a routine,
right? But I feel like if I write for 3 hours, I will run out of gas generally.
Mm-hmm. Right?
If I have 3 productive hours just going,
do you feel good?
I feel good.
Yeah,
but that doesn't happen all that often, really.
Are you writing now?
Yeah.
Oh, are you excited about it?
No, I hate it. I always hate it.
Do you have the idea?
I have the idea, except for the problems.
What does that mean?
I mean, I have an idea, but there's still problems I haven't cracked.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I thought you were actually referring to an actual plot point, like the problems are the things that happens to the character.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, that wasn't what I meant, but yes, those are the problems. Are actual plot problems.
Do you like to have the end before you write?
I like to have the whole story broken out before I write, but that's not what's happened here.
Oh. But usually that gives you some kind of comfort of you're moving along within a structure.
Yeah.
Because I'm the kind of person who can write 15 pages and then has no relation to the next day.
Right.
That's why I'm so successful.
Larry Harold says, no question this week. Just keep bringing the funny every week, you two crazy menches.
We'll do it. We're mavens and menches.
Jim Meehan says, my turntable acquiring nephew is playing his way through the family record collection, and some of them are making me miss the food that was available near my old apartments. Ever feel nostalgic about food?
Oh, yeah.
I miss people too, but I'm hungry, he says.
That was why it took me so long to get used to Los Angeles. It was like I had such fixed memories of pizza and bagels and food.
Yeah.
My memorism was better than the food was, actually. And then I came out to L.A. and everything was like a strip mall. It took me a long time to get over it.
Yeah.
But now I love L.A., so. But I do, definitely. I was thinking about that, like, I've had perfect pizza at different times in my life, like what I consider perfect pizza, which is a taste I can have from my childhood.
Right.
And I'm wondering, yes, it has to be a great pizza place, but is it a combination of when you get it right hot out of the thing? In other words, like, I could go to the same pizza place that I love and I won't have the same experience.
Right.
So I don't know what that is exactly, but there's sometimes where it hits that, then I go, I could eat this forever.
Right. Yeah, I mean, my childhood pizzas probably wouldn't hold up.
But you loved them.
The things that I had from the 70s in Minnesota probably weren't that strong.
What does hold up, though, from Minnesotan food?
There's various rib joints that were open over the years that I'm nostalgic for, but it's mostly just stuff that I went to with my family.
Right.
It was more about those memories than the food itself.
The area is not known for a specific cuisine, is it?
Not really. There isn't like the cheesesteak or the,
But it's gotten way better, too, right?
It's become a great food town.
Yeah.
Minneapolis has. I mean, it's not like once you leave the cities, it's a statewide phenomenon. But
yeah,
Minneapolis and St. Paul have become very good food towns. But no, I mean, like the Juicy Lucy and that wasn't even growing up. That wasn't even a thing. But now
I forgot what that is.
That's a cheeseburger with the cheese inside.
Oh,
It's a stuffed hamburger.
Is that a Minnesota specialty?
It's acclaimed. It's one of those like Food Channel kind of specialties.
Maybe someone took me to that in Minnesota last time.
Very possible, but it wasn't a big thing when I was growing up.
Yeah. I can't think of any. I think of
Like the big food thing in Minnesota is the Minnesota State Fair. That's and that's all just
junk,
and fried novelties. But there's certain restaurants that have gone away now that I miss. But
any great delis?
All the delis are gone pretty much.
And did you like them a lot when you were younger?
There were some good ones. Yeah, there's Lincoln Deli was probably the biggest, and there was Brothers Deli, and there's
a great bagel place near the club.
Yeah.
I think it's called like Live or something like that. And they make them in the morning. Oh, it's so good. I eat there every day when I go there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm always going to love Minneapolis because it's not my hometown. So I always love going there. It's like a real treat for me.
Louis Lee was sitting. Louis Lee's the owner of Acme Comedy Club.
Yeah.
He was he's in Hong Kong right now, and he was sending me various pork porn.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did it make you salivate? Now, is that the best food you've had in a long time?
I had some great food, but especially pork. There's like pork of your dreams in Hong Kong. There's just.
See, I feel like I've never really had great pork because being a Jew.
Right. Yeah, I know how observant you are.
But just in general, I never. Like I had the other night a thick pork chop, and it was unbelievably good. But most of the time, I guess my memories of my dad making pork chops. He made the worst pork chops. Dry.
It's super easy to make a terrible pork chop.
Because you overcook it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just dry it right out. I don't imagine your dad was sous videing things.
That he was what?
Sous vide.
No, but he was the only cook of the two of them.
Yeah.
And he did do he made a great pilaf and London broil and things like that.
I came from for a family that loved food as much as we did, there were no good cooks in my family, really. My mom did her best to prepare food, meals.
So you came by it on your own?
And then my dad would, make eggs and act like he was a fucking hero.
Hello?
Oh, wait, sorry.
Wait a second. Now, when did you get interested in food? Just from eating it, or?
When I started, it was a couple stages. When I first moved out here, I was hanging with my friend Scott Pinkerton.
Pink,
a.k.a. Pink. And we would go out to eat all the time. Some days we'd go out to, lunch and dinner.
Where were you working together on?
We weren't. We were just hanging out a lot.
Oh.
He was a roadie, and I was a comic.
Wow. Did both of you have money, or did he have money?
Neither of us had money. That's why we started to cook.
I see.
Because we were spending a shit ton of money going out to eat. And he eventually went to culinary school and started a food company. And
now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now he's not doing that, but he did for a while.
How is he doing?
He's good.
Where does he live?
In Illinois. Married and happy.
Very happy?
Married and happy.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And then when I moved in with Allison and Elon, they didn't care about food.
Oh, wow.
They would eat the same thing every night or two.
So that made you want to mix it up.
Yeah, it made me have to learn.
And did they enjoy that you made stuff for them?
Yeah.
That's good.
But they would have been okay doing what they were doing, too.
What were they doing?
So it was
ordering out?
They would do they would do pasta and vegetables 5 nights a week.
Yeah,
or a sausage and an ear of corn or, it's like.
Yeah. Is Elon like eating now?
Yeah.
Oh, he does. That's cool.
So it was necessity, and then I just got better because I wanted to eat better food.
Well, this Hong Kong thing sounds like it's off the map.
We got to do
I don't know about me doing it. It's a fun trip. And what if I get sick from my thing? What are we going to do it during the day? Just shoot me.
It's a great city.
I know. I'm going to go there, but I don't want to go there right now with all the problems.
No, we can wait. Since this is imaginary anyway.
Would you go there right now? Probably.
I'd go there with Louis, yeah.
With mask on, you go, hey, fucking out of here.
I probably wouldn't join the protests, no.
I just want to say right now, I'm for the protesters in Hong Kong.
I was there when right before when we were doing the doc. It was right before that first giant
I remember
Central
that.
Camp Out protest. Yoshi Yamamoto says, "Is
Yo.
there?" No,
We did it.
We did the song. Is there anything in existence more likely to be created on Please Go Shark Tank than cotton candy grapes?
God, this is like classic comedy bit.
You see, it's like great. You get the fruit, but then there's also like a candy aspect to it.
Ooh.
So you take the two and you blend them into one delicious thing.
What would you call them?
I call cotton candy grapes.
I like it. I'd like to put $1,000 into
I
it.
need more than that, mister.
Okay.
$1,000 won't even get me the seed money.
Literally.
Literally.
Okay, I'll give you $2 million, back end, and a horse.
Beautiful.
Well,
2% I'll give you for that.
that sounds good.
All right, Andy Kindler, shake my hand and we'll call ourselves winners.
And when will I
Please
see
go
you?
Shark Tank.
So loud.
I know. I feel bad for Allison when we do those bets. But she doesn't hear, right?
No, she doesn't hear.
She doesn't hear in general.
All right, let's call it a night.
It's a night. Do you like that kind of comedy? Tanka, old style comedy is the best. Two people walk into a bar, and the bartender bang.
Hey, if you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral. Give us some coffee money.
And if you want to go rate us at the Apple Podcast, you gotta have 5 stars or kiss me in the ass.